go ahead and get started. Perfect. Okay, let's start down on the ground. We're gonna start a little slower today, and then we'll get into the workout. I'm gonna have you go ahead and find big toes together, knees out wide, rounding the back up, and then I just want you to hold the stretch, pulling the shoulders up as you push into the palms. And then you're gonna go ahead and just walk your hands in a semicircle. So just stretching out the back, go inside, center, and then opposite side. And then just doing your best to create that extra space by arching the back up, pushing into the palms, and taking the tailbone to really tap on top of your heels there. And then just breathing into that. We're going to go back 15 more seconds. So we'll attempt to get all three angles one more time. And once you finish that final angle to the side, bring yourself to center and start to curl your spine up, tapping the tailbone. And then we'll go ahead and release into that fourplex here. We'll drop into a few cat-cows. So I'm going to inhale, exhale, extend my stomach and chest down, pull my hips up, shoulders backing down, and then take another inhale to engage my core and round my back up. So just trying to really work on moving that back, that spine, tilting the pelvis, pulling the shoulder blades, and then just going at a speed that feels good to you this morning. Trying to see if you can get movement all the way through the spine, not just the upper back. We're really trying to get the pelvis working, the core working with you. We're going to get two more here. And then last one. And then go ahead and find neutral core. So pull the belly button in, find that flat back, pull the shoulders back and down. Untuck your toes so you're ready to lift off into the ground. We're going to go ahead and sink back into our hips. And then we're going to launch forward, pushing through our toes to plank. Sink back into those knees. And then launch forward to find plank. Sinking back. Exhale to find your plank position. One more here. And then from your plank position, we're going to go ahead and find that pigeon. So take your one leg up, knee comes to the same side wrist, ankle comes to the opposite side foot, and then you're just going to slide your body down into the ground. Turn your long leg hip towards your front foot. And do your best to really close the gap between you and the ground. So really trying to push down as far as your hips will allow you to go. Keep holding that pose. I'm going to admit melon. And then we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of movement through the torso to start. So I'm going to put either hand on either side of my front leg. And I'm going to exhale down, keeping my back spine, or my back long as I bring it forward. So exhaling down to the ground, inhaling up. Exhaling down, inhaling up again, trying to turn that back hip as far forward as I can. doing my best to get the movement to hinge at my hips, not at my back. Bring yourself all the way up into your seated position here. We're going to take our back leg. You can either just kick it up and release down, or if you have the ability to kick it up and turn, you're going to push into that rotation. So now we're really starting to work the back hip, getting that nice rotational stretch. You'll find your way into that 90-90. So again, I can just bring the knee up, or if I'm able to, I can turn it down to the ground. Last one here. Then we're going to go ahead and shift our weight back down. You're going to swing this back leg out to your side. So you'll bring it extended long. You're kind of in this modified hurdler stretch. Foot is up towards the ceiling. Let's see my foot, I think. Flexed up. And then again, we're just going to go ahead and take our hands by our side and we're going to create that lean forward. Now feeling the stretch. Move through the inside of our leg all the way down to our knee. And continue just to breathe through that. Keep trying to keep the toes facing up. Slide and cover as much ground between you and the floor. Last one here. Now we're going to go ahead and transition the legs straight out in front of you, squaring the hips to face the front of the leg, and the hands can go back behind you or they can go around the front leg, and we're going to keep that same range of motion there. Again, not trying to reach the toes or any specific area, but instead just trying to hinge at the hip, creating more space through our hamstring, our hip, our low back, opening up all those important muscles. Two more here. And then last one. You're going to go ahead and sit nice and tall. Hands are going to go by your side. You're going to bring your hip back behind you. Scoop the other hip back behind you. Finding your fourplex again. We're going to do that same transition on the opposite side. So I'm going to pick myself up, untucking my toes, launch myself back onto my heels, push forward into plank. You have 5. Extend, strong center, push into stretch. And then last one here. This time taking the opposite knee up to the same side elbow. Swing your wrist or your ankle across to your wrist, and then go ahead and slide into that half pigeon pose on this side. Turning this back hip, and again closing the gap between you and the ground as much as your hips will allow you to. And then taking that big exhale to fold right over the front of the leg. Inhale back up, exhale down. Taking your time, trying to really focus on creating space through the hip, through the low back. We're going to do 3 more here. Two. And then last one. Go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Again, you can take your back heel to bring it up towards your back, or you can add that little rotation where you're going to turn it towards the same side so the foot comes over to sink towards that opposite side. Opening up the hip. Again, moving as slow as you need to. Two more here. And then last one. And then we're going to go ahead and take that leg straight out to the side. Again, we'll find that position where we're able to turn our toe up, keeping our hips and our shoulders squared forward, foot flexed up towards the ceiling. We'll go ahead and start that forward fold here, filling that length through, down to the knee, closing the gap between us and the ground. One more here. And then go ahead and swing that leg out in front of you, square the shoulders to face. Again, hands can go back behind you to give you a little leverage. Nice top posture. Folding forward, sinking back. Three more here. And then last one. Again, take those knees up. Give yourself a tight little hug, pushing into the hips. Seeing how low you can drop that chest. So you may want to wrap around the hamstrings, or you may wrap around the front of the shins. And just pull your body into the back or the top of your legs, lengthening your back. Holding here for 5. And then we'll go ahead and swing those hips underneath us. We're going to make our way up to standing. We'll untuck those toes. We're going to exhale the hips up. Walking slow and controlled up to that standing and reach position. Holding here for just a second, pushing the hips up high, rounding the spine forward, and then slowly controlling that roll back up to that standing position. We're going to go ahead and get started with our first movement here. So we got about 20 seconds. You're going to grab onto one dumbbell for me. Your opposite leg is going to step back or be in front of the dumbbell. So you'll rest the dumbbell here on the shoulder. This leg is going to step back. My opposite leg will stay forward. We're going to come into a lunge with a press. So just working on one side. We'll go here in about 5 seconds. We'll go 3, 2, 1, and so you're going to take that lunge, nice and controlled. Find your center, and then if you can, we'll add the knee drive. If the knee drive feels like too much, you can just take it here and push straight up. So opposite hand can go wherever it's comfortable. If you need the extra balance, taking it out to the side tends to help, or you can just kind of attach it to the hip and really ground that foot, centering yourself. We're going to stay on this leg for a few exercises, so I really want you to be cognizant. Which leg did you put in front? Because we're going to keep it in front here for a second. We got about 10 seconds. We'll go 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Switch the dumbbell over to your opposite hand this time. We're gonna take that lunge and we're gonna hinge at that hip, finding that nice flat back. So we'll go here in 2, 1, and go same leg as in front. Stepping back into that lunge, and then finding that center to just hinge right at that hip, using the glute and the hamstring to again pull you back up into that standing position. Core stays strong, back is flat, shoulders are pulled back and down. We have 25 seconds here. Breathing through it. "15 seconds. Take your time. All right, we're gonna go here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Same leg stays in front. This time coming into your curtsy lunge. So we're gonna swing that leg back behind us. So you'll come here, find that angle you feel comfortable with, push to standing. We're gonna go here in 2, 1, and go. So the leg will stay by the side. You can make this a little bit harder, just like we did with that lunge, by taking that knee straight up into more of that balanced pose. Again, arm can come out to the side, or even grips lightly on a wall or a chair to help with the balance, or you can really challenge yourself in free space, holding and controlling that transition. And then trying to bring that back knee as close to the ground as you can. So we got about 10 seconds. Almost there. We'll go 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Shake out that leg, you got one more. So same leg in front. Dumbbell switches back to the opposite side. We're gonna take that nice wide split stance. We're gonna just drop straight down into that lunge. I want you to see how my movement was slightly forward and then down to the ground, okay? So we're gonna go here, ready, set, go. Again, really trying to push through the top, the forward leg. Back leg there is just acting as that kickstand. And then working on that depth, that range of motion, that control as you come into that lunge. We got 20 seconds. Letting the knee glide forward over the toes, making sure it's not just stacked right on the ankle, which will put a lot of tension on your knee itself. 7 seconds here. Breathing. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1, and time. We're gonna go ahead and switch legs now. So again, opposite leg going forward. Mel, since you missed the first, I want you to rotate through. So I want you to actually alternate those legs. We're gonna go ahead, start with the leg in front. We're gonna have the dumbbell on the shoulder. We'll go here in 2, 1, and go. So you're gonna take that step back lunge and press. Amanda, you're gonna stay here. And then Mel, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that lunge, step down, switch. Do the same thing on the opposite side. Just so that we're getting even work on both legs for you. But Amanda, you already got that first side, so you can stay with me, just working the one side. And again, just finding our center, finding that balance, not about speed, really just trying to see how controlled we can be in this movement, how much range of motion we can get, keeping the core strong. We have about 5 seconds. We're gonna go here, 2, 1, and time. Switching the dumbbell back. This time we're kind of lunge, step up, and then hinge. Again, Mel, you'll switch, so you'll just throw it over to the opposite side, lunge, and hinge here. All right, we're gonna go here in 2, 1, and go. Amanda, you're working the same side, just like you did the first round. Big stretch into that hip. Engage that glute to stand up, sink back. Take your time. Again, not about speed, all about control through our legs, through our core, tall posture. We got about 25 seconds. Almost there. All right, guys. We're gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. We're gonna rest here. We're gonna come into the curtsy again. So here, like this. We're gonna get you going here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So bringing that back knee down, and then stepping up. I think, Mel, this is about where you joined in, so you can stay with the same leg with us. Again, we can add that little knee drive to just challenge our balance a bit more while also working the core. So anytime we pull that knee up, we're actually using the abs to bring that knee up. Thinking it almost as that standing crunch. And then just taking it nice and controlled. We have 10 seconds. We're gonna go here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Last one. Bring the dumbbell to the opposite arm. Taking that wide split stance, and then we're gonna drop straight down and forward into that lunge, keeping the weight light on that back foot. We'll go here in 2, 1, and go. So we're gonna bring it down, push up. Again, trying to really work on this movement stemming from your front foot. Finding that center, finding that balance. Seeing how controlled you can be, how much range of motion you can get. We have 20 seconds. Watch those angles. Make sure your hips and shoulders are squared forward. Your glutes squeezed forward. And you're letting the knee slide right over the front of your foot. You have 7 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Shake it out. We're going to come into an alternating squat, snap, press. So you're going to have it at your center. You're going to bring it down, snap it, press it, switch sides, okay? I'll do the same thing on the opposite side. We'll go here in 2, 1, and go. So we bring it down to the ground, high pull, into press. Switch. High pull, into press. Now we can start to incorporate a little bit more tempo. It's not a lot of weight, so you're able to really snap that dumbbell up pretty easily. See how low into your squat you can get by pushing those hips back, keeping that chest tall, using those glutes to raise out of it. Awesome, guys. We got 10 seconds. We're gonna go here, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Pick an arm, any arm. Standing single arm shoulder press. So elbow's gonna be open. We're gonna just push straight up. Nice tall posture, keeping ourselves balanced in center. Option to take this up a notch by pulling the same knee up, using the core to help you stabilize. So go ahead and jump in. This is modified. And then if we were gonna take it up, you just bring that knee up. If you're struggling to balance with the knee up, you can also bring the foot down, but still hover that foot. It's just a little easier to keep it down than to bring it all the way up. And again, just doing our best to really center ourselves. If we lose our balance, we just come into it again, find our center, and get right back into it when we can. We have 15 seconds. All right, guys, almost there. We're gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Switch those arms for me. So the opposite side is gonna work. Again, you can take keep the leg down to the ground or take it up more into a balanced pose. We're gonna go here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Make sure the glutes are tucked underneath you so your spine is neutral. Low back is not arched. Core is engaged and strong. Again, if you want to add that balance component, please find a version that is going to work for you. And then just breathing through that full extension, working on that full range of motion through the arm. We have 20 seconds. Almost there. All right, less than 10. We're gonna go here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Go ahead and drop the dumbbell to the opposite arm again. This time, you're gonna give me another lunge. We're gonna lift up into that lateral raise. If you need to make it easier, bend at the elbow, lift up at the elbow. So we'll go here in 2, 1, and go. So if you haven't been able to figure it out, today is a lot of unilateral, one side at a time movements. But just taking that one side at a time automatically forces us to use our core a bit more to help stabilize the weight difference between the two sides. So it's an indirect way to really engage the core more than we would need to if, let's say, if we had dumbbells in both arms. We have 15 seconds. Again, take your time, nice and controlled. We're gonna go here, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time, switching over to the opposite side. Resting here, grounding the opposite foot, same thing. We'll get you guys going here. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Nice step back. Really putting emphasis on every part of the movement. Good angles on our lunge, staying controlled within the lunge, and then trying to bring it up into that full arm extension. We got 30 seconds. All right, 20 seconds left. Last 10. We're gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. We're gonna go ahead, drop the dumbbell. If you can find something to hold on to that's slightly elevated, a couch, a chair, even a wall will work. You're just gonna put your arms straight out in front of you. You're going to balance, grounding one foot, keeping your back flat and neutral. You're gonna pull your knee back behind you. You're gonna reach into that extension. So I wanna pull into ab flexion, and then I wanna kick out into glute flexion. So we have core here, pulling up the belly button, glute here, squeezing and driving that heel, and flexing that glute. Again, using this as recovery. And if you want to take this a little bit harder, you can always sink a little lower into that standing leg. All right, 10 seconds. We're gonna go here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Switching sides. So again, I'm gonna ground my foot, find that angle, nice neutral core. I'm gonna pull into ab flexion, extend that heel out into glute. Abs, neutral spine, kick glute. Just trying to create that straight line. pushing like you're pushing weight through the heel as you release out. We have 30 seconds. Almost there. Again, the slower, the more focused you are, the harder the movement truly becomes. Don't just go through the motions. Try to create flexion both ways, ab, and then through the glute. 7 seconds. We're gonna go here, 3, 2, 1, and time. Holding onto the table again, both feet are out in front of you, back is flat. You're gonna bring your knees down like they're gonna touch the ground, and then you're gonna push through your toes. So my heels are lifted up. So I'm gonna bring the knees down, push through my toes to lift up. Go ahead and join me. And then you can really start to test that range of motion. But I want you to really give yourself that cue of taking the knees down and forward. So we get this nice big stretch through our quads. What this is doing is really allowing us to engage our quads, our calves, and our glutes in a way that our regular squat doesn't allow us to. We have 15 seconds. Almost there. We're gonna go here, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. You can go ahead and release from that. We're gonna come into alternating curtsy, hands go behind. You're gonna take that curtsy, give me a full one, and then you're gonna pull up into a crunch. Set that foot down, swing to the opposite side. Again, all about balance, all about core control. So we'll go here, take your first step, step up, bring yourself down to rotate to the knee, then crunch into it. And then switch sides. Again, grounding the foot, rotate to it, then crunch down. Making sure we're not just bending the knee up towards the elbow, but actively flexing through the core to get that elbow and that knee to meet. All right. We're almost there. We're gonna go here, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Go ahead and walk out to the edge of your mat, back of your mat, I'm sorry. We're gonna walk out in our inchworm into a push-up. Option to make this harder by keeping one foot elevated through the walkout and through the push-up. So I'll show you guys sideways. We'll go here in 2, 1, and go. So if you want an extra challenge, you can keep one foot elevated, even if you drop down to your knee. It looks something like that. Once you get standing, you swing and you switch. Now again, this is optional, so if you want to keep it with both feet grounded, absolutely. Go for more of a modified. And remember on the push-ups, I would rather you guys be down on the knees, getting more range of motion, than up on the toes, only getting half push-ups. So don't be afraid to take it to the knees. We're gonna get this last one. If you're alternating, and then we're gonna go ahead and stay down on the ground for our next few sets. So drop down to the knees, swing your legs up in front of you, grab onto one dumbbell. We're gonna come into a sit-up with a press. So we're gonna hold to the dumbbell at our chest. We're gonna sit up, nice and controlled, and then press straight up once you get to the top. Again, rolling the spine back down. Exhale up, and press. 30 seconds here. We have 20, Not about speeding through these, really calling on the abs to create that flexion, but then also to support that press up above your head. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1, and time, holding on to that one dumbbell. We're gonna do figure 8. So I'm gonna pull the knee up, pass the dumbbell under, pass it back through. So you're just gonna be creating this figure 8 around your legs. And again, pulling with the core. So I'm pulling here, I'm not bending here where it's moving at my hip joint. We're gonna go here in 2, 1, and go. So I'm gonna pull, and then switch. My torso pretty much stays in the same place. I'm creating space to move that dumbbell by pulling straight up at the hamstring to bring that knee up. Again, not bending, but I'm pulling straight up. Thinking about your feet, drawing a straight line from the ground out in front of you. 15 seconds. Last 10. We're going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Grab onto your other dumbbell, taking it up just a notch if you feel up to it. 2 presses, you can go 1 dumbbell or 2. We're gonna push up at the top, roll down, find our low back connected, push up at the bottom. Roll back up, push up at the top. Go ahead and join me. Again, I can go down to 1 dumbbell, or I can make it challenging, really hooking into those 2 weights. If you need to hook your feet underneath the couch or a table, please feel free to. Whatever allows you to keep that controlled sit-up is the most important thing. Be at 20 seconds. Almost there. We're gonna go 2, 1, and time. Drop the dumbbells down for just a second. You're gonna lay with your feet flat. You're gonna roll yourself up. We're gonna rotate side to side. If that is too difficult, bend the knees up for me towards the ceiling. Roll up as high as you can. Rotate side to side. So choose a version that works for you. Long legs is a little bit harder, and you do not have to sit all the way up. Again, you're finding an angle that your low back and your core will be able to support. But creating that curve in the spine, and then rotating to bring those elbows as far back behind you as you can, but really engaging those obliques. And then always breathing through it. We've got 15 seconds. All right, we're gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Hold on to 1 dumbbell. Bring yourself down onto the mat. Same leg is gonna bend up, opposite leg is gonna go long. You're gonna push up, the leg's gonna come up with you. You're gonna drop down into a skull crusher. You're gonna push up again. So the leg is gonna trace exactly what the arm is doing. So we'll go here in 2, 1, and go. So when the arm goes down, that opposite leg goes down with you. When it goes up, the leg goes up. Again, really trying to pinpoint that low back and belly button. You can shorten the range of motion on that leg if you need to make it a little easier. Or if you can go all the way down to the ground, even better. Elbow stays locked out. We have 15 seconds here. Almost there. We're going 3, 2, 1, and time. Taking a second to switch over. So now the opposite leg is bent, opposite arm has the dumbbell. And then you're sliding that long leg towards the ground. Low back belly button, push into the ground. We're going here in 2, 1, and go. So arm is just leg is just tracing that arm. Every time the arm goes down, either into the skull crusher or down in the press, that leg is also releasing down. And again, just staying very controlled, focusing on pulling that strength from our abs. So keeping that low back and that belly button locked into the floor. And then even grounding it a bit more as we start to extend up. 15 seconds. We're gonna go here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. We're gonna go ahead, drop the dumbbell for me. We're flipping over, we're gonna do a push-up into a rotation. So again, let's drop down to the knees to get full range of motion. Go ahead and just follow along with me. So we're gonna be here, you can't see me very well. We're gonna be down on our knees, nice flat posture. We're gonna go ahead and pull the shoulders back and down, squeeze the abs. Go ahead and rotate down into your first push-up, push up, lift to toes, stack open hips and shoulders. Release, light dip of the knees back down, full push-up, untuck toes, reach to the opposite side. And then just trying to watch our angles, keep our abs tight, really control the movement. We have 10 seconds. We're gonna go 2, 1, and time. Again, finding that flat position in that modified plank. This time the hands are gonna go straight out in front of you, so they're about top of your head. You're gonna drop down, maybe a little further, drop down to your knees, push through your palms to lift back up. So it's kind of like a skull crusher, but we're lifting our body. You can also take this up to a table to make this easier. So let's go ahead and give it a go. If this is too hard, you're just gonna pull yourself up to an elevated surface. So your knees are on the ground and your hands are up on that table or that couch. Abs stay strong. This is lots of core work and triceps. Twenty seconds. Almost there, guys. 10 seconds. We're gonna go here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, sliding back onto our bottoms. We're gonna go ahead and come into a floor dip. If you feel more comfortable elevating, go ahead and take it up. It'll be exactly the same. You'll just have your hands on a higher surface and your feet out in front of you. Roll those shoulders back and down for me. Pull those elbows to touch. We are moving at the arms, so I'm gonna bend my elbows back behind me, squeeze and push up. This movement does not come from my hips. If I need my legs, they're absolutely there to help me, but I am using my arms to do most of the work here. Bending back, exhale up. Bending them back, exhale, push up. Now, if you're on the floor, you're gonna really start to feel the triceps right about now. It's kind of constant tension with this range of motion. Just want you to do your best to breathe through it. We only have 10 seconds left. We're gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Bring yourself back down to the ground. We only have a few more movements left, guys. We're almost done. You're gonna go ahead and have one dumbbell. You're gonna grab onto the dumbbell. You're going to pull the knee up. You're gonna crunch and set it down. So we're gonna go half the time right here, and then half the time on the other side. Go ahead and join me. Clock just started. Sitting up, trying to find that 90-degree angle, and then meeting the torso to the leg instead of bending the leg all the way in. Stop the knee even with the hip. Make the abs roll your torso up so you can get it past. One more this side. And then switch out those legs. Same thing. Opposite side. Really going as slow as we need to. Concerned with our angles and how much tension we can really create. We're almost there, guys. We're gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Go ahead and put that low back into the ground. You're gonna reach the dumbbell back behind you, tapping it, or going as low as you can comfortably. Roll up and reach. So yes, I am getting a little momentum, but it's all about controlling that momentum with my center. So I'm not just letting my body just get thrown around. I'm actively squeezing up and then squeezing my low back and core into the ground as I reach that dumbbell back behind me. 25 seconds. Almost there. All right, we're gonna go here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Drop the dumbbell down. Put those hands underneath your glutes for me. We're gonna start at the bottom. You're gonna pick one leg up, 2 legs up, and then you're gonna flutter for 3. 1, 2, 3. Drop one leg down to the ground. Opposite leg down to the ground. Go back through it, okay? So we'll go here in 2, 1, and go. So we're pulling 1, pulling 2. Picking an angle that makes it challenging on our core, but not putting too much strain on the back in the process. 3, and then down. Pull back up. We have 15 seconds. Almost there. We're gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right. We're gonna grab onto our knees. We are gonna roll ourselves up. This is gonna be the whole movement. So you're just gonna use your core to roll up, try to tap the feet to the ground, roll those shoulders back. Go ahead and join me. Again, just really trying to focus on using the abs. Trying to strip as much momentum as we can out of the movement. And if you can, just really squeeze the core as you release those shoulders. We have 15 seconds. All right, we're gonna go here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Last one here, guys. One leg is gonna go long. It can rest on the ground to make this easier, or it can hover to make it harder. You're gonna push past, then you're gonna switch. So we're gonna go here in 2, 1, and go. Lots of tension. This is your last one. Protect that low back. If you need to set this leg down on the ground, absolutely, go for it. If you can keep it elevated, give yourself that challenge. Breathe through it. We have 30 seconds. $20 seconds left. 15. All right, last 10. We're gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Go ahead and hug those knees into your chest, keeping your tailbone glued into the floor, so just pulling them down without letting the hips roll up. Enjoying that nice big stretch to the front of your hips and maybe through the inside of your legs. Go ahead and extend one leg long. Extend the other leg up towards the ceiling. Finding your hamstring stretch. If you can, flexing the foot in that stretch. If you need more, you can always start to pull a little bit over the torso, or if it's just hard enough, just keep it long right above your hip. We'll go ahead and drop that leg, slide it down to the ground for me. Bring your opposite leg up, again, extending into that hamstring stretch. Trying to get the leg as long as we can. And if we can, also add that flexion through the foot, driving the toes towards the face, heel up towards the ceiling. Breathing in, creating space, making sure the opposite shoulder is on the ground. Again, go ahead and release there. Give yourself a nice little hug around the knees again. Using the ground to roll out the low back. And then start to build a little momentum like we did on the core roll up. You are seated all the way up. From here, extend your leg long. Nice tall posture. Reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to release. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, release. This next one, exhale, reach forward. Drop the hands, pull into stretch. 20 seconds here. Just keep trying to create more space. Breathe into the low back, the hamstrings. We're going to go ahead and start to roll up. Bring your feet together, knees out wide, sitting up nice and tall. Just work on pushing those knees down towards the ground. See how much space you can make. From here, extend your arms back behind you, and then begin to kick each foot out to find your split stance. Keeping the back long, we're going to just push into those hips, and then release. Again, try not to bend at the back, but instead hinge at those hips as much as we can. We'll go ahead and bring the arms out in front of us, or if you want to connect to the legs, you can. You can let your back around now. You're going to hold that forward fold as far as you can take it. You may notice things just slowly start to open up. Be able to get a bit more range of motion. Just keep sinking into the stretch. Breathing, exhaling tension, inhaling further into your stretch. We're going to go 10 more seconds. Go ahead and release. Find a nice, comfortable position to sit. Bring that arm back behind you. Reach down your back as you push the elbow back for a tricep stretch. Go ahead and release that arm. Bring the opposite arm back. Again, releasing. And then we are all done, you guys. Thanks for coming this morning. So there's not going to be any more early morning classes this week, but there will be again next week. Okay, so I'll have an updated schedule and all that info. Hopefully, I would love to say before the holiday, but it'll probably be more like on Fridays. Keep an eye out for that. I'll let you know when I send it. It's just, it takes some time to get it all set up. So we'll see. All right, you guys, happy Monday.